Hello everyone, my name is Ahsoka, and today I'm going to ramble on about something that has been addressed multiple times, but I still don't feel like nothing's getting done. It's about DDoSing and the DDoSers. Now, DDoSing, for anyone who doesn't know, it's a denial of service. It's when someone steals your IP and loads packets into your router, causing the server to delay. Um, why people do it, I don't know. I can't get into the mind of someone who is that sensitive as a person, who wants to go out of their way to maliciously attack players. Um, I have no idea why this is even a thing. But then again, I don't know how Destiny still doesn't know how to combat DOSers. You know, dedicated service has always been the topic of discussion when talking about it, but there's really nothing that has been done regarding it besides players doing Bungie's job for them by reporting players. Like, that should not be a thing. How is someone who's getting DDoSed supposed to report another person who's DDoSing without having any credible, proof? It's a hard thing to do. You know, it's really tough to convey. Like, yo, this person is obviously getting people's IPs, because for me on console, it's way too easy. If you play with a VPN on console, you know for a fact that, well, for me, that when I bought one, that it was so bad. It's so laggy. I can't even play the game. My download speed was like 1.1 MB. And that was the best connection I can get. It was really poor. I couldn't really do much. I really couldn't do anything at all, actually. The only thing I could say is like, hey, at least my IP is protected. That was the most pointless VPN I've ever used. And I really don't. I really wouldn't even think to even buy one if this game just had dedicated servers. Honestly, because as soon as you load in PC, PS4, Xbox, whatever, your IP is exposed if you don't have any sort of protection. Now, some players like me, I have a dynamic IP, so mine changes every 30 minutes. Um, but for, I don't know how everyone else's is, and I don't know if everyone is educated on IPs or how you can avoid getting booted, or your best of ability to not get booted. Um, this game has been a roller coaster of emotions for me while playing this during its state. Um, it's really hard to be a PvP player while PvP is infested with these types of characters. Now, this discloses character, he obviously has no shame in his game. He openly admitted to doing it. He doesn't care. Matched them again after this game, and he just said, oh, got your IP. Like, that should not be a thing. Like, there's no reason that should be a thing, but it is, and it's been so long. I don't understand how it's still a thing. I don't know how this is still going on. Bungie expects you to do their job for them while you're trying to protect yourself at the same time. Like, my thing is it's gonna lead to a domino effect. That's why I want these players gone. I can deal with the DOSers or whatever. I can deal with all of them, but I don't know if the next person that comes in contact with them will be able to handle them, and that's what I don't want. No one should be harassed by someone across the world or even in the same region, taking your IP and holding you off. Like that should not be a thing. Obviously not morally, but then again, you know, whoever is running the show, or who's not allowing this to happen, how did you not see this coming? Like, how do you not, like, this has been in gaming for so long, so long. How do you not see these types of people existing? Like, it's been in gaming since like the dawn of time. You know, I just feel like got it got used more after the whole like Lizard Squad thing. People want to be infamous, and well, I can be known. It's really weird. It's very weird. I don't know how people get egos out of how people get egos from DOSing players. I don't know how people get egos from holding someone's IP above their head. It's mad weird. It's cringe. You got to be a real basement dweller, like a hardcore nerd to be doing something like this, because there's no way you have a social life and the only thing you have to show is that you can hold people's IP off. It makes no sense to me. There's really no way this is a thing, but sadly it is the reality, and it does exist still to this day. And I should not be doing Bungie's job when it comes to these issues. I like it's how does someone report someone's DOSing without being in the same game, and how do you show that proof? Like, if someone disconnects, right, and you go to their match history, like, yo, my teammate disconnected, this guy obviously is holding him offline. Okay, but how do you know? Like, how is someone who's DDoSing somebody, or getting DDoS themselves, how do they report it if their internet is getting, held offline? How it's I think hacking is easier to convey because you obviously can record proof and show it happening, but DDoSing for me has been a challenge because there's so many ways to show it not happening and just say it, and revert back to, like, did you check your internet connection or something like that. Like, it's a difficult thing for me to be like, yo, like, this guy is obviously booting players, he needs to go. But how do you know? Like, how do you not know that these players obviously have connection issues? Do they check back at those players who have those connection issues? Do they look at the player's match history that didn't have connection issues? Like, how do they go about checking if a player is being DOSed, or how do they check if a player is just having poor connection issues? Because I know they've been suspending players with poor connections, but I mean, how do you not know it's because they're getting DOSed? How do they know they're not suspending innocent players who are being affected by someone who is DDoSing them and holding their internet off, and which creates a poor connection? It's been one of the hardest things in my mind to convey to Bungie. Like, how are these players still playing the game? How are they not banned yet? Like, I'm so confused. But I can't, I'm not a game developer. I don't know how easy or how not easy it is. I'm not sure how they go about it, but for a lot of players, it's been very frustrating. Either hacking or DDoSing. It's just been a frustrating experience because a lot of players are good at the game. The game isn't even hard at all. Like, this game is really easy, very easy, which is why it's kind of weird that people even take the time to even hack. Like, you literally have they give you aim assist on every weapon, and a lot of these exotics are extremely easy to. There's no reason for you to even come to the conclusion that, to beat these guys, I'm gonna hack or I'm gonna DDoS because they're better than me at a game that's extremely easy. It just doesn't make any sense to me. This game is not hard in the slightest way possible. I guess that's just an ego, like I stated before, that players just want to hold that over your head because it makes them feel. I don't know the enjoyment you get out of bragging about holding someone offline. It's so dumb, extremely dumb. Because most egos, like mine, like I 100% have an ego. Mine comes from strictly solo queuing to 5500 since season 5. That's where my ego comes from. I reached 5500 back in season 6 on 3 different accounts, starting from a new light guardian, and it was challenging, of course, but I reached 5500 100% solo queue back in those days, and that filled my, I can't lie, that filled my ego because I felt like there's nothing no one can tell me. If anyone was in a party that had to go to 5500, then I'm obviously better than them because I didn't need anyone. I didn't have to sit in a party and wait for people to get online. I just went in, and that was it. I didn't wait for anyone. I didn't have to invite nobody. I just played when I wanted to play, and that's where my ego comes from. It's based off of consistent performance. But these, I don't know, these players, like this character is just, they're just a different breed. They're obviously a different breed of gamer. Something that exists, but I've never seen, because this guy, he tells you he's doing it. He doesn't, I've been DOS before, and people they don't deny it, but they don't say they don't do it neither. They just don't respond at all. But this guy's just like, yeah, I got your IP. I held you offline. I mean, I didn't get held offline because my IP is dynamic, so I don't really care. But the fact that you're trying to brag about doing that to someone is so weird. Like, yeah, I don't know. That just, I can't even understand the psyche behind it. But I just want this guy gone. I'm gonna leave all the proof and everything in the description, and I just want this guy gone. Like, this guy should not even playing Destiny. He just shouldn't be on PlayStation, period. Like, this, people, like, I've already dealt with this before. I've already dealt with DDoSing from players, earlier this year. They weren't attacking me, but they were attacking my group. And when you attack, if you have it was like clan members on Destiny. Like, for me, if I don't do anything and they're a part of, they're a part of my team, then you're not just attacking them, you're also attacking me, right? That's just the way I see it. And these players are still playing the game. They don't try to hide the fact that they don't do it. They obviously do it. And their Twitters are filled with flexing of IPs and things of that nature. And it's just like, how are they still, like, Bungie? Come on, like, how are they still playing the game? How are they still allowed to log into PlayStation if we know for a fact that they're cheating? Not even cheating, they're just pulling IPs. Like, we know these people. We know who these guys are. They have their PSNs out there. They have their legal names out there. Like, dude, it's not hard. This is not rocket science. Like, it's so obvious and in your face. But I'm just let it be for right now. I really don't know where to go to at this moment. I filed reports before, um, to the FBI and things like that. Uh, but it's definitely a difficult, DDoSing in whole is just a difficult thing to maneuver around. For me to even understand it from a player perspective, not even a developer, just from a player, because obviously the the thing that I can say is, get dedicated servers, and that's that. But, in the perfect world, we have them. This is not the perfect world, so it is what it is, and that's really sad to say. Um, but I'm gonna just let the gameplay go on. Um, there should be some time left. But, thanks for listening to me ramble. I don't know how often I'll do these, but like, share, sub, uh, and enjoy your day, or whatever you do.